God, I love that intro. It gets me pumped every time. Welcome back, everybody, to HealthSparx, my exciting new show featuring the brightest entrepreneurs, innovations in health and technology. I'm your host, Michael Walsh. God, I'm excited about this show. I've been waiting for this episode. The first 6 shows I've done, it's been a lot of entrepreneurs and startups talking about their stories. Today we switch gears a little bit. We do kind of another part of our mission, another part of my mission, I guess I should say, just helping you guys understand some of the things that you need to be doing to create your own health technology startup and just get out there and just crush the hell out of it. So I've got Kate McCarthy from the Iron Yard today. The Iron Yard is a accelerator program out on the East Coast in South Carolina. These guys are getting ready to put together a health accelerator program through kind of like a spin-off of their major program, the Iron Yard. So got her on the show today to talk all about, what is an accelerator program and how do you become part of one? What does that even mean? Who's behind it all? Just all the ins and the outs of what an accelerator program is and how it can help you either launch your business or grow your business, because it could do either. I know that here in Dallas, I've looked at a bunch of accelerator programs, both just on the technology side and then the health and technology side. And a lot of these programs out there, they're doing some pretty kick-ass work. So worth checking out, especially if you're just at that idea stage and thinking that you might need some fine-tuning of the business model, you might need some startup capital, whatever it might be. So really pumped about today's show, a little bit of a change of pace, like I said, but I think that you guys are really, really going to like it. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. A couple quick things before we get started. As always, make sure you guys subscribe to the show. Just right here on the website, you can click subscribe up above and pop your information in, and I will deliver all the content straight to you. No hassle, no problem. Just here you go. Check it out. So join our VIP list and subscribe, and I'll get that stuff to you, as well as a bunch of other cool stuff that we might have coming up here, perks, some cool bribes and offers for you guys to maybe participate in, some contests, some sweepstakes. Who knows what we're going to throw out there here in the next couple of months. I'm super pumped about all of it. So, subscribe. Also a quick shout out, a little bit of love for Satori Tech Solutions as always. These guys always are right there to help me with all the technology needs for the website, as well as my own startups. So check out their website, satoritechsolutions.com. These guys they're awesome. They know what they're doing. They take care of you. So let me know if you have any questions about some of the work they've done. I could talk for hours about it. It's great. So let's get started. Kate McCarthy, the Iron Yard, coming up right here. All right, everybody. Today on HealthSparx, I have a distinguished guest, a good buddy of mine who we've got to become friends here over the last couple weeks, just chatting a lot about startups and accelerator programs. It's Kate McCarthy. She is the program director. Am I saying that right? Is that the correct title, Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman's probably more accurate.
We'll stick with Wonder Woman. She is Wonder Woman of the Iron Yard. The Iron Yard is a program out in South Carolina. We're going to get into all sorts of this stuff. But again, just a little bit of a pretext before we jump in. Again, Kate is not part of an actual startup. I wanted to have an episode like this just to go over, again, what accelerator programs are and what all the kick-ass stuff that they're doing out in South Carolina for this particular accelerator program. So Kate McCarthy, the guest of honor, welcome to the show.
Wow, I feel honored to be here.
You should be. You're important. And you've had one hell of a day.
I have had one hell of a day. I'd like to preface this by saying that I had some unfortunate oral surgery today. So I may sound slightly out of sorts, but
To those listening, don't worry about the painkillers that Kate took. She's fine. She'll be good.
Right.
If she sounds loopy, don't worry about it. We'll just get into it and see what happens.
Yeah, no rest for the weary. Plus, things are a lot more exciting when you live on the edge. I think all of us entrepreneurial sort of folks believe that to some extent or another.
Absolutely. All right, so before we talk about the Iron Yard and all the awesome stuff you guys are doing, let's just chat a little bit about you, just so we can give the listeners a real glimpse of just how awesome you are. So give us a little bit of background about you.
Wow. Well, I was raised in Pasadena, California, the land of sunglasses and Chardonnay. Yeah, it was great. I was born and raised there. I went to university actually in Montreal, Canada, which is the land of snowshoes, and frostbite.
Yeah,
and it was great. It was great. I majored in cultural studies and art history, which don't apply at all to the business and sort of marketing and startup-y stuff that I do, except that they're majors that were really about people who are following their passions, and that's what I wanted to do. That's what I've always done. And I was always, the kid that had the lemonade stand. So I've always been entrepreneurial. I pretty much was sure that I had invented the Oreo milkshake and peddled them around my neighborhood when I was in first and second grade.
How disappointed were you when you figured out you weren't?
Man, it was like, I really, if I had known the word sue, I would have tried to sue Baskin Robbins. No, really. I mean, it was just a lot of fun. And then when I was in college, while I was, writing papers and drinking too much coffee and wine, I also had a vegan cupcake business. And so I've always kind of wanted to do my own thing. I lived in Toronto for a little while and kind of cut my teeth in the social media marketing world with a company called Lululemon, which makes really expensive yoga pants that really make your butt look great.
Nice.
Worth every penny, I'm going to tell you right now. But they were kind of on the forefront of that. And so I got awesome training through them and decided, in my true Oreo milkshake fashion that I could, do this myself. So I moved back to LA and started a social media branding and consulting business and did that for a couple years. Bought a truck, drove across the country and moved to North Carolina to swing hammers with Habitat for Humanity through the AmeriCorps program.
Damn.
Which was awesome. And that's how I landed in the South. And I really found sort of an unlikely home for myself here. I just really fell in love with the Carolinas and the communities here, and ended up down in Greenville, South Carolina, where I came in contact with the Iron Yard, which has just been such an awesome opportunity and blessing. And as we talk more about that, you'll hear why. But I mean, for me, the Iron Yard is this really beautiful mixture between my love for entrepreneurship and startups, and my love for community development, because I think that those two things work really, really well together.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah,
so that's perfect
story.
segue. So I mean, okay, what's the Iron Yard? Let's start with what that is, and then we'll dig a little bit deeper into, again, what some of the buzzwords around the Iron Yard actually mean for the listeners. So
so many buzzwords.
I know, for sure.
So the Iron Yard's, I mean, it's awesome. I love the Iron Yard. We really kind of focus on three things. So we started out as an accelerator, and we can talk more about that. But we're an accelerator, so we help launch early stage tech startups. And then we also have a really robust education programming called the Academy. So we teach free programming classes for children. And then we also just launched an intensive front-end engineering code school for adults. It's a 3-month program that's just super cool.
Awesome.
And then we also have co-working spaces. So all of this is happening in the upstate of South Carolina between Greenville and Spartanburg, South Carolina, which we call the upstate region. So those are kind of the three main things that we do. But all of that is in the service of, building the tech sort of entrepreneurial community here in South Carolina.
So a couple of just metrics maybe about the Iron Yard. How many companies right now are you currently helping?
Well, I mean, helping is sort of a weird word.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of our second program at the Accelerator in Greenville, and we have 8 companies, 8 startups that are in our Accelerator program. But we also have, a ton of coworkers and small businesses that work in our spaces that are able to come and, meet with mentors and kind of benefit from the greater ecosystem an ecosystem is such a buzzword, speaking of buzzwords.
Yep.
But that greater kind of community or what have you that we're working on. And then this July, when we launch our second Accelerator program, which will solely be focused in digital health, that'll be another 8 to 10 companies. And then, additionally, we have, companies from our previous Accelerator last year we give them a full year of free co-working space.
Cool.
Because we really want to create, a runway for people and create continuity within our communities. And, we also get some really great mentor relationships between folks who are a year into the startup process versus people who are just getting into it right away or right now. So, I think we're probably, if you want to say impacting, we're probably currently impacting 50 companies, including like independent contractors and freelancers.
Okay, so for the entrepreneur listening, let's maybe take one step back. Maybe I put the chicken before the egg here. So let's talk through the Iron Yard as an accelerator program and maybe what the process is from start to finish for you guys in terms of, first accepting those applications and weeding them out and accepting them to the program and then what they go through. So just let's go step by step in terms of chronological order and the time frame here for what you guys do and everything that takes place.
Sure. Well, I'll use our current program as an example, like the one that we're about to launch, just to kind of give people a sense of the whole process. So we are part of the Global Accelerator Network, which grew out of something called Techstars.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Techstars is one of the first accelerator programs, and we operate on that basic model.
Yeah, thanks, Brad.
So, yeah. Hey, Brad, what's up? High five, man. Thanks for creating a job for me. So basically, we just got a bunch of great press actually, today about our digital health accelerator launching. And over the next month, we'll receive applications to the program from a bunch of different startups. Usually we get 200 to 300 applicants to our programs, looking to have us help them start their company. So, for example, our applications for this program are due, or the cutoff date is June 7th.
Okay.
July 15th, our program will begin. And for 3 months, we will basically be hosting like startup boot camp for these people who have really taken the leap, quit their jobs, and gone full time to make their startup a reality.
Right.
So we take very early stage, so pre-VC funding companies.
Okay.
And we bring them in and we give them $20,000 of seed funding. So it's a small amount of seed funding.
Sure.
In Spartanburg, we do everything that we can to hook them up with housing, and we have bikes for them to get around town. So
yes.
Try to remove the other distractions.
Right.
And then we have mentors from all over the country, as well as a really robust sort of local mentor network, to help guide them, in all of the different things that they're going to need help with, throughout this early stage process. So we help them with the legal work. Okay, you need to do X, Y, and Z legally. You need to consider X, Y, and Z legally. We help them with design, UX, UI, with just their model to begin with. So, their MVP, all of that stuff. We put them through rigorous pitch practices with experts in raising funding and all of that to kind of tear them down and build them up.
So the 20,000, typically accelerator programs take some seed equity in that whole thing. Is that how this works as well?
Yeah, it is. So we take 6% equity.
Okay.
For that, the 20,000 is part of what we give, but the mentor network is also another big part of what we're contributing, right? So. Right. We're bringing in experts to help people get their companies ready to launch. And those mentors also help to unlock doors.
Sure.
So if you need to meet X person or Y person, or if you need to get your product in the hands of 50 nurses and get their feedback, we can help you do that. So for 3 months, you're working hard, but we're working as hard as we can for you as well.
Absolutely. And so again, just potential entrepreneurs or even existing entrepreneurs that are out there. This accelerator, I'm not even sure what the right word, epidemic is a good word maybe. Just there's been this just huge blow up across the country of these accelerator programs across the entire country and everywhere, in every major metropolitan market, and even the ones that aren't major. Like there's accelerator
like
programs.
South Carolina.
Yeah,
you know,
and they're great, but one thing to be thinking about, and you should be asking some of these questions, and I'm asking of Kate right now, is just, like what's really behind all this, and what can you do for me? Because after 90 days of going through a program like this, you and your startup, you want to be just ready. You want to be able to just go crush it. That's the whole point of going and putting yourself through something like this over 3 months. So
Michael, that is like a super awesome point to make, and I want to talk a little bit about that because it is really important for companies to know what they're getting into and also know what they want to get out of it.
Yep.
And as you know, there are a ton of accelerators out there, and you want to make sure that you're going to an accelerator that is going to work for you.
Yeah, don't just go to one just to go to one.
I mean, because that's what's wasting everybody's time. So, for example, like for this digital health accelerator that we're launching in July, we have an exclusive deep dive session set at the Health 2.0 conference in Silicon Valley this fall for all of our teams to pitch at.
Right.
Like we're not in a major, VC community here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, but
why not?
Right, exactly. But what we have done is built some really key partnerships, with people like Mayo Clinic and Abbott Labs and Zebra, just, a bunch of different companies, and organizations that provide that sort of robust, network and access to the VC community that you need in order to, launch and get funded. We want you to get funded. We have 6% of your company,
Right,
it is in our interest for you to do well.
Exactly.
So when you're looking at, accelerators, you want to make sure that accelerator is offering what you need. So if you're not looking to get funded, which I'm guessing is not that common, but if you're not looking for VC money or angel investment, we might not be the best place for you to go. If you're looking for, getting in the room to pitch with the right people at Health 2.0, like we'd be a good choice for you. But that's all up to you finding the right fit. And there's all different kinds of accelerators.
Yep.
And so I think that kind of having that nice marriage is really the goal.
So let's transition a little bit. I mean, again, we're talking just specifically about the Iron Yard at a high level. But yeah, so there's this digital health program now that it's within the Iron Yard portfolio. It's all the same, but it's becoming a focus and a specialty of you guys here as it launches here in July. And that's one of the big things I wanted to talk about here, because a lot of the people listening to this have that interest in health or technology or what have you. So why did you guys decide to do this? What opportunity did you see in the health, like the digital health, the mobile health space, that you thought, this was important enough to put together and launch?
Totally. So we were approached by some really incredible, forward-thinking business folks and community leaders in Spartanburg, South Carolina, of all places, to expand our programming and to bring a program to Spartanburg. We wanted to, open a second accelerator, but we didn't want it to be just, another clone program. We really wanted to focus on a particular vertical. And for us, digital health felt like a great place to be. For one thing, we had to take stock of the resources that were available to us in Spartanburg, because the worst thing that you can do is, try and build something in a place that doesn't have the right sort of footing for it.
Sure.
And Spartanburg has done some really amazing work to build its sort of innovative health community and the upstate in general. So the hospital systems are really encouraged by us they're encouraging us and are opening their doors, and they're experts to us. They've just brought a new college of osteopathic medicine here that's very interested in healthcare innovation. So they're very, very open to innovative ideas in healthcare. And it's actually an incredibly diverse and international population here. So BMW's headquarters are here, and they're really interested in, how how employers, large-scale employers, are providing health to their employees. So, I mean, there's a bunch of different things here that were interesting. And, healthcare is the probably single biggest inefficient market in the United States.
No kidding.
So that's, a nice place to be innovating.
Absolutely.
But seriously, I mean, for us, we really believe in building startups from the people up. We really believe in creating things that are going to make a difference in the world, which sounds cheesy, but it's true. I mean, I really have zero interest in building some shiny, beautiful product that is going to count ants on the sidewalk. Like, we want to build things that are going to significantly improve people's lives.
Yeah.
And that can be making them more fun, more efficient, whatever. But we felt like healthcare was a great space to be in. It's a place where a lot of great investment is going right now. I think between 2011 and 2012, there was a 46% increase in venture funding to the area.
Yep.
So there's a need. We had the local support, and the investment dollars are going there. So it just felt like a really great place for us to focus.
Yeah, you guys are certainly striking while the iron is it's not even hot yet. Like, it's just warming up.
Right.
There's still so much in front of us in healthcare right now. And that's why, I mean, it's been so great learning about your program and what you guys are going to do, because really and truly, I mean, my mission, with HealthSparx and even my own startup and you guys' mission is one and the same. Like, let's launch stuff that can actually impact people's lives and leave a footprint on the world. Like, you can't do that, you're right, with like some shiny, consumer product. Like, you make people happy with it, but at the end of the day, like, do you really feel like your shiny little ball like made a difference in someone's life? Like, that's what health technology innovation is all about right now. Like, let's come up with stuff that actually makes sense for people and makes things better for them. Like,
totally. And I think we're a really interesting point in U.S. history with health policy changing so significantly. We're really at a point where I really believe that the innovators and the entrepreneurs are going to be the ones that are going to shape what healthcare is going to look like.
Yeah, not the government. It's not going to be the government. It's going to be the entrepreneurs. Totally.
I mean, I really believe that, and I want to be a part of that. And, I'm not a healthcare expert. I'm not, I haven't started and exited a bunch of successful companies, but I really found like my skill is bringing those people together.
Yep.
And that's what I really love about being, quote unquote Wonder Woman at the Iron Yard. Like, I love bringing all those people into the room and being like, hey, like, let's make this happen. Like, that's a great feeling. Like, I think that's one of the things that accelerator programs are really great for.
Right.
Is getting people out of their kind of comfort zone or corner, or getting them out of that if they're stuck, and putting them in the room with the right people to help move them forward, or help make that breakthrough, or help see that one feature that's missing, or that how their idea might pivot to be a real solution for a problem. So I mean, that's what I love about what I do.
So the entrepreneur in me is curious. This is a curiosity question on my part, just in terms of the program and getting it out there and growing it and attracting some of the top startups. I mean, how do you market something like this? I mean, the fact is, again, there's a lot of accelerator noise going on right now, but really and truly in the health tech space, there aren't that many yet. So I guess what's the thought and the strategy for you guys to, really attract some of the best startups that are like getting going to come to South Carolina?
Right. I mean, I think the way we approached it was really like, let's build the best program we can.
Right.
I mean, it was very much quality first. I mean, I think that we knew that to be successful on a lot of levels, we would need to build not only incredible, local support and momentum, but also really strong national partnerships.
Yep.
And I think, having mentors coming in from, Mayo's venture group is going to be great. Having access to global pharma companies is going to be great for entrepreneurs. And those things also obviously help with press. But for the most part, we just really focused on building a quality program and letting that speak for itself.
That's a good point too. Maybe mention some of the advisors you reached out to. I mean, because I know Lisa Mackey from Pocket Doc, and she's here on the show. She's going to be an advisor.
She is such a BA, and by that
she rocks. I mean,
I freaking love her.
Yeah.
I think she's so inspiring, and yeah, and then she's how I met you, Michael. She's our connection.
Yeah. So shout out to Lisa. High five.
Yeah.
Lisa.
Hey,
Thanks
Lisa.
a lot.
She's supposed to be bringing me a really cool Pocket Doc trucker hat when she comes to mentor in August.
Maybe she get like a bandana or something.
Yeah. No, she's great. Yeah, some of our mentors. We have, let's see, the VP of product at Udacity. She was at Google. She's awesome. We have the Pocket Doc folks. We have, oh man, I'm blanking on people. We have.
Okay. I mean, this whole thing is just coming together. I was just curious if you had a couple initial people that said like, yeah, we definitely want to be part of this.
James Rogers, who's the chair at Mayo Clinic Ventures, is coming down, which should be great. We also, the truth is that we've built out some great mentors just on the health side, but we also have our whole mentor network from the Greenville program as well.
Right.
So it's really both, which I think is great. So it's not just the healthcare, but we have the former head of litigation for the Cleveland Clinic, awesome. Who now is in private practice, but she is awesome, and she's not only obviously incredibly experienced in all of the legal intricacies of healthcare. She's also just an amazing coach, you know. And I think part of what we've really learned about mentors is it is great to have people who have big names and are highly connected. It's also really important to make sure that you have mentors who are really teachers.
Yep.
Who are teachers, who are not only willing but excited to coach you through this time. So, and that's been really true of our local mentors. We found that even people who don't necessarily have experience in tech, but are just great business people, have been great mentors for people because, running a business is running a business. It's very different, but you're dealing with a lot of the same issues.
Sure.
So, we found a really great balance between sort of the national mentors and the local mentors. Who else? Aaron Walter.
I was going to say, maybe in the interest of full disclosure, I should say that I will also be involved, right?
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, people. If you get into the Iron Yard Accelerator program, you'll be dealing with me as well. So.
Yeah, and we really are trying to bring in. We have people who are CEOs and CTOs of digital health companies at all different stages, as well as experts in their fields. In fields that, who might not be in startups, like the venture people. But I think having a lot of great perspectives and wisdom is
it's important. Again, that's a big part of the reason why you should go through a program like this. So I can't wait to watch this develop, and I can't wait to be part of it, in August, and come out to South Carolina and help all the startups, as they're going through pitches and things like that. So let's kind of a good wrap-up question, something I always like to sort of bring up to anybody on the show, really, because especially for you've also had experience just with your own businesses and your own ventures kind of getting off the ground. And so all of this said, everything we've just talked about with the accelerator programs out there and the benefits of them, and it can be completely unrelated if you choose as well, but what advice do you have for specifically the entrepreneurs out there that are either currently in the digital health space or thinking of getting into the digital health space? What advice do you have in just getting something started, gaining some traction, getting it off the ground, and really blowing the hell out of it?
I think I have two pieces of advice just from what I've seen. To me, it is all about the people. So I really think that you better love your co-founders.
Sure.
I think it's really important that you have co-founders that you trust, that you know, that you can, this was something that was said to me when I was, working on a startup on the side, and it was great advice that I got. Is like, if you have a conflict in a meeting and you can't resolve that conflict and walk away from that table feeling good, that's a bad thing. That's not a good sign. And so I think the first thing, and this is very true of how we evaluate startups, like we really pick the team, not so much the idea.
Yeah, it's important.
Ideas can be refined and they can change. But if you have a great team and an okay idea, you can develop that idea. If you have a great idea and a terrible team, you will run that into the ground.
Sure.
So I think, pick great co-founders. I think that's my number one piece of advice.
It's such an important thing.
Yeah,
Can't get it enough.
The number of great ideas and bad teams is just, it's all the people that you don't hear about, right?
Yep.
Because they're not the ones that are making it happen.
Yep.
And you're gonna be working a heck of a lot with these people. So if you want to like your life, you better like your co-founders.
Yeah. I had a lot of similar conversation here in Dallas with people as they're putting something together, and I tell them, like, you'd much rather have an A team with a B product as opposed to a B team with an A product. Like, it's plain and simple. I mean, like, because again, you can make a B product. You can, as you go through an accelerator program, maybe you can turn a B product into an A product. But the team is what it is. Like, you gotta build it on.
You can't really turn a D product into an A product, but you can definitely turn a B product into an A product.
Yep.
And people kind of are who they are.
Yep.
I think, hopefully in the dating world, people have learned that you can't change a man. You also can't change a co-founder.
Such a good point to end on, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really true. The other piece I would say, when people are talking about like traction or funding or whatever, I would really also say, remember that that's all people too.
Sure.
And it's all relationships and being genuine. And I have found that people who are genuine and put relationships first and people first tend to come out on top in the end.
Absolutely. It's incredible advice. And it's not, again, anytime we talk advice on the show, sometimes it could kind of come out sounding a little cliche at times, but it's true. Like the whole don't be afraid to fail thing. Like, we could spend a whole episode talking about don't be afraid to fail, and it's the same thing with this.
I fail all the time.
Yeah, like, you should want to fail. You should really want to screw up big time, because then you'll figure it out and you'll learn from it. So it's no different with this. It's great advice for people to be thinking about. You need to pick good co-founders and put good people around you to make good products, and not the other way around. So, Kate, you and I could chat probably for hours and hours and hours about all this stuff, but I think we've reached the end. I got to let you go and enjoy the rest of your day and get back to nursing your sore tooth or whatever it is that you've had to deal with. So, everybody listening, check out the Iron Yard program, especially if you're thinking about getting a tech startup put together, especially if it's in the health arena. These guys are doing some real exciting stuff out in South Carolina, so excited to see what's going to come of it. So, Kate McCarthy, our fancy guest of honor, thank you so much for joining us on HealthSparx today.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's been awesome, and I can't wait to have you out here in August.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're gonna build some startups.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
All right. Well, everybody, I'll put some information about the Iron Yard here on the episode page, and Kate, looking forward to chatting soon.
Thanks, Michael.
And that's a wrap for me and Kate McCarthy from the Iron Yard. Whew, great show. Tons of awesome information for entrepreneurs. I mean, these accelerator programs, they're definitely worth looking into. They could really help kind of pull everything together for you in terms of getting your business plan and kind of going through that legal process of founding your company, building your product, raising money, whatever it is that you need at that early stage. An accelerator program, especially a good one like the Iron Yard, could really help you get there. So check these guys out. It's theironyard.com, and read more about especially this digital health piece that they're going to start to do here in the next couple months. Again, we mentioned on the show, I am going to be a part of this as well. They asked me to come on and serve as one of their advisors, one of their mentors to the startup. So I'll be making the trip out to South Carolina probably in August. Would love to meet some of you guys. So check this program out. It should be awesome. A couple quick things before we sign off. As always, subscribe to the show here on the website. I will deliver all the content straight to you, as well as other great tips and advice from people like Kate McCarthy and other entrepreneurs that I run into. I want to share this stuff with you guys. I want you guys to be completely equipped and ready to go and just completely tackle the startup community. So subscribe here on the website. We're also available on iTunes and Stitcher Radio, so you can go and subscribe or follow us there. Having a lot of fun playing with the Stitcher Radio app here, and all sorts of great content being shared there. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. I think that's about it. I've got another great episode coming up here next week. Can't wait to get that one recorded. It's with another good friend of mine, Ayla Imami from Care to Manage. That's a health tech startup getting launched in Memphis. So excited to welcome her to the show. So until then, this is your host, Michael Walsh. We'll talk to you soon.